Hello, everybody. Ilse and Patrick, thank you very much. Lovely to be here with you today. And I'm sure it's going to be very interesting academy training. And just a couple of sentences about myself. I started this business 33 years ago while being a poor immigrant. Prior to that, I was a medical student, and I was trying to continue my medical education, but failed and to enter the university, and found myself picking oranges to earn $400 a month. But it was fun. It was fun. When you don't have anything, you're ready to accept everything, more or less, right? And so this is the way we need to feel in Herbalife, because sometimes we are getting into this business, having something, and then compromising. So my situation was non-compromising, and I had to go full steam, and this is what I did. We've got great results, myself and my family, and so I started this business. I had no idea what to do and how to sell those products, but results were so great that actually eventually I found several customers, and then developed my customer base into 45 people approximately. I've lost most of them within just a couple of months because I didn't know how to retain them, what to do with them, how to follow up, and I didn't have enough experience. So I had to replace my customers every other month, more or less, and I was really working hard. It took some time to improve this process. Obviously, we didn't have any communication tools back then. Everything was completely offline. It was 1991, and things eventually things changed, obviously, right? And we've learned a lot, and then somehow I've started international business, and today this business is in over 50 countries, and keep growing. And we found interesting solutions for our customers and our distributors all over the world. And one of the striking discoveries, I would say, was nutrition clubs back in 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, more or less those times. And it's still the major way of running business, especially offline, but now it's combined offline and online. Even nutrition clubs are becoming hybrid business, because you need to attract people and you need to keep people around, not just those who are visiting nutrition clubs on a daily basis, but all of them. And another one which we developed recently, starting like 4 or 5 years ago, is this marathon story. And so today, over 2,000 people came to hear this training, and this is really great. This is really great. Over 2,000 people who are qualified, means you are full captains in a way. Let's call it full captain, or full, I don't know what, fully qualified captain, right? Like fully qualified active supervisor, 2,500 volume points, and 2 full teams, which means that you understand the terminology. I actually don't need to explain the basics to you. And this is really big joy for me to speak with the audience when you don't need to explain what marathon is, what bot is, what player bot is, and how it works, and what team is. I will have a couple of slides anyway for basics, right? But we will go into the system. Today, we will discuss this system, how you build your business. Like Patrick said, it's not just a retention tool. It's actually a royalty organization building tool. To my mind, is the most effective we ever seen, because of the objective data we already have. The good part of it is we have so much data because all players and all captains are connected to the system, and we actually know every move they take, every single day, everything they do, every button they press. The data is being gathered, analyzed, and the conclusions are just unbelievable. Just unbelievable. It's so great. And it runs now in over 90 countries. So that means that this data is coming from all over the world. And so that's why I'm so excited, because we see the results. We see that retention is the highest ever. The conversion is the highest ever. The engagement is the highest ever. And the royalty increase is the highest ever when it's coming to a certain number of, when you have certain number of teams already, right? It's not happening automatically, but once you achieve certain levels within your personal volume, then things start happening within your organizational volume. And these are very exciting things I'm going to share with you today. And so this was the opening. So let's go to the first slide, and I will share with you how I see this system working today. Okay, so again, we are talking about the game. It's just a game. So we've been missing this a game in Herbalife. We've always been busy running business. And we all understand that business is not for everybody. Not many people are ready to go and risk their time, money, effort, energy, right? And start their own business. We all know it's a certain percentage of people who are entrepreneurial. They are ready to go and do business, even though we are talking about part-time business and there is no need for any investment in this business, right? But still, to be independent, it's not for everybody. It's for 5% of people, maybe 10% of people, but not more. Mostly people are not ready to go for this kind of opportunities. They want to have a job, and they want to have a predictable income, and so on and so forth. Now, that's why we've been missing a game to play, because everybody wants to play the game. Not everybody is ready to do the business, but everybody, or almost everybody, is willing to play the game. So that's why we've been missing the gamified experience for our customers and distributors. It took some time to build it and to get to this current version called 3.0. It was started as 1.0, then moved to 2.0 when we connected customers, connected players. They're called players. It's a game. It's like a football game, right? And so we have two types of rules in a way in this game. One set is what we call hard rules, like in any sports, right? Like football, we have hard rules, right? You have 90 minutes, you have 11 players, you have defense, you have goalkeeper, and you have whatever, coach. Okay, so kind of hard rules. This is the way, and you play with your foot and not with your hand. Okay, so these are basic hard rules. And then you have soft rules. Soft rules means your style, what you do, how you play with defense, offense, what you do, and whether you're more technical, whether you're more physical, so different styles of the game. So this is what we do in marathon. So we play with certain rules which are set by the bot, and then we apply our own style, because we are all different in Herbalife, and we have different countries and mentalities. And so that's why we can create our own style of this game, which is great. So let's discuss the game, and let's go and discuss how we build a system out of it. So what actually this game is. So you know that we have those teams. Players get into teams, and each team has 9 people, including one captain. You are captains, right? And so we run those laps, 10 days laps. And these are more or less this is very simple. These are the rules, right? We have assistant captain, we have captain, we have players, and we have players of the assistant captains. Okay, these are more or less the very simple thing. And the business, the whole game is run by 2 bots, which are parts of the same system. One is a captain bot, and another one is a player bot. So and captain bot creates teams, and then generate this link to the player bot, and then through this player bot, customers who are called players are being connected to the lab. So this is how it works. and very simple. And but there are some details which we need to understand. For example, how this team is being built. Like any team, like a football team, you have offense, you have defense, you have goalkeeper, you have all the functions within the team. Same exactly here. So you have a captain. You have since it's a competition in a way, right? In a way, that's why we have those functions and recognitions during the lab, not just when lab is over and we recognize people who got results, but during the lab, we have all those functions and all those recognitions on a daily basis to make it even more gamified, even more exciting, even more engaging for people. So we have a captain who runs the thing, creates the team. We have a lab leader every day. We have a day leader every day, right? The person who lost the most weight or gathered the most stars when it's coming to a wellness score, or wellness index, it's called in some countries. So then we have a lab leader. It's the one who got the best results for the lab. Okay, since lab started. Then we have a connected player, right? You can see it. This is the one who actually just connected, so regular player. And then we have assistant captain in the right bottom corner. It's always in the right bottom corner. And then we have assistant captain players. They are always next to the assistant captain, because this is the assistant captain introduced these people into the team. So that's why they're always next to him or her. And those people who are assistant captain players, they have those badges, star badges. So you can see badges. Those badges are actually explain everything. So lab leader would have this short t-shirt, right? It's like a lab leader in cycling. They have this yellow t-shirt. So we have also t-shirt, okay, lab leader. So we have this crown for a day leader, and we have those star badges for assistant captain players. So very simple, very clean, I think very clear. And we just need to run a couple of laps and then we're clear with it. So you please forgive me that I explain things which you already know, right? But it's important to put the basics together first. Okay, so let's continue from here. And now what we see is some signs, basic signs or basic foundations or basic principles of a successful system. So it's not just a tool to run, to work with customers, but actually if you want to create a system out of it for your organization, then there are certain very important foundations. All these foundations based on this figure 2, number 2. So we need to have 2 shakes a day, not 1 shake a day, if we want to succeed in a system, okay? It's not enough just to sell healthy breakfast and have everybody successful here. This is just an experience, right? If we want to have better results, we need to have 2 shakes a day. So if we want all kinds of results, product results, weight results, business results, volume, money, anything you want, engagement, you need to have 2 shakes a day. And the reason for that, it's not just financial reason, right? Because we need to have 2 shakes a day, program-wise. Anybody, has nothing to do with the weight management, by the way. We need 2 shakes a day, bottom line. So we need to fix our breakfast and we need to fix our dinner in a way. It could be instead of a dinner, or it could be before the dinner. It could be 5 p.m. shake and then light dinner. And the reason for that is because we need badly to avoid overnight, we need to avoid late night overeating, because this is the main reason for the obesity, for weight gain. Okay, late night overeating. And in order to avoid it, we need to have 5 p.m. Shake in order to control our appetite at night, or sometimes it's coming instead of the dinner, all right? So, but we badly need second shake. And it's not just a shake, we need to have a shake and the protein in it, and So it needs to be a good shake. All right, we will get to it. So the next foundation is 2 detox days. We call it detox days. Some people call it cleansing dates. Some people call it Herbalife dates. All kinds of names. It doesn't matter. But we just use all our products during the day, including we cook out of it, we drink it, we eat it, we do anything with our products. It could be protein bars, it could be shakes, it could be puddings, it could be anything you cook out of it. All right, and but it's just Herbalife Day. Okay, we avoid eating meat and fish and regular I don't know what. Okay, anything. But so we are trying to be on Herbalife during those days. It could be three shakes a day, no problem, and it could be in addition to it any kind of products, but Herbalife, and it gives us much better results. Much better results. It's just unbelievable, and we do it on day 4 and day 9. And the reason is we want to get the best results in the middle of the lab and at the end of the lab before we actually have the final results. So another tool is 2 labs a month. This is crucial. 2 labs a month. I know that some people run just 1 lab a month. I think we're just missing the point. It needs to be about 2 weeks cycle. Okay, there are different understandings, but it's about 2 weeks cycle or 15 days cycle, and that's important to have this cycle. I'll explain later when we discuss a monthly plan. I will explain why it's so crucial. Then the next one is 2 orders a month. It's not exactly 2 orders a month. It's actually twice a month before each lab. We need to get ready to make sure that we are ready in terms of product availability. So we just need to check it. If you have preferred customer who actually purchased products for the next 2 months or 3 months, obviously there is no need to order every 2 weeks, right? But we need to check every 2 weeks. Are we ready product wise? Are we ready for the next lab or not? This is very important, so that we do it twice a month. So the next one is we need to have 2 players to become assistant captain. Just 2 players. You don't assign just assistant captain, okay? Because it's a player, very active player who brought two additional players, 2 additional customers to you into the same lab, and then this person becomes assistant captain. So it's a condition. This is the condition of the game, right? To become assistant captain. So it's not just a nice title. No, it's a function. And this person who is called assistant captain obviously is going to be very active during the lab, helping captain and helping the community to run the lab. So it's a serious function, and it's a future captain. Then another one is, another two is is to become a captain. You need to have 2 teams. Fully blown captain has always 2 teams and 2,500 volume points, which actually directly link to the marketing plan. Excuse me. The next one is, I'm sorry. The next one is we need to spend 2 hours a day inviting new people, at least 2 hours a day. So this is very important. If you don't do it, you eventually will slide down, and you will lose momentum, because you need to go and work on it every day, 2 hours a day. It's not your hours. These 2 hours which are assigned to this function they don't belong to you. They belong to the business. So please make sure that you spend 2 hours a day inviting new people. And the last one is you need to try to add 2 new players a week personally. This will give you 1 new team a month. And this is what we need to do. 1 new team a month. In order to achieve it, you need to have 2 new players a week in your personal volume, whether it's your direct first line customer, or maybe it's a referral coming from your existing customer or assistant captain. So these are main basic principles of the successful system. And then once they're applied, give it 90 days. Give it 90 days, apply those rules, and you will see the results. You're going to be blown away by your results. And trust me, I'm a lawyer, as Alan Lorenz used to say. So the next is this is the sample program to enter the marathon and continue to the next lap. So it's just an example. Obviously, it's not part of the hard rules, right? It's a part of the soft rules, but this is how I act. This is how I operate. So my basic program is four basic products, which is Formula 1, Formula 3, or PDM, and herbal concentrate, tea, and aloe. So these are four basic products I'm getting into I'm entering my customers as players. So four basic products, and then I'm trying to advance the program. Obviously, it could be different in different organizations, different styles, different countries, right? But this is what I believe is the basic. And then obviously you can advance and you can add more and more products for this particular person or the family. Okay, once you have family engaged, then obviously you widen the program, right? That's important, to widen the program and introduce new products every lap, right? Every lap you can talk about different products, and you can introduce new products, and you can introduce more products to the same family. So engaging with the family is crucial, is just crucial. And we just need to put it. It sounds like maybe soft rule, but it's a hard rule, right? Because if family is not engaged, sooner or later, we're going to lose the person. If family is engaged, this person will stay with you I would say, forever. Because family excitement, children and husband, mostly, right? Husband, we need to get husband involved, because mostly women are coming first, and then it's makes a big difference. Okay, so that was an example of entering and continuing. So the next point is there are 3 levels of engagement. Again, these are soft rules. Okay, this is just style. It's my style, and I'm glad to share it with you. So you can develop your own style. I have 3 levels of engagement. All this is just, it's an idea. It's an idea, all right? Don't take it seriously, all right? Develop your own. But this is the idea. So this is level 1 of engagement. So I would expect from my new player to have 2 shakes a day, 2.5 liters of water a day, reduced simple carbs consumption, and physical activity, right? And here's the example of physical activity. On the product side, program side, products, I would love to have those 4 products which I just mentioned earlier: Formula 1, Formula 3, or PDM, right? Some addition, some protein addition, and thermal tea and aloe, right? These are main products. So this is level 1, basic engagement within the game. So the next level is, you will be a little bit surprised, but the next level is level 5, right? Not level 2, not level 3, not 4, but straight number 5, right? Because I want my people to move straight to number 5. Why? I don't know, because I don't want to deal with number 2. I don't have level 2. I don't have level 3. I want everybody to be more serious and straight to go to number 5, level 5, right? So it's 2 shakes a day in terms of activities. It's 2.5 liters of water a day. It's reduced consumption of simple carbs. It's more physical activity, right? Obviously, it's personalized. It's just an example here. 70,000 steps for a lap, or 5 workouts. Okay, again, it's just an example. It's very personal. Then I want to have a before and after story ready, right? And then I want to participate. I want this person to participate in promoting this marathon in social media. So this is what I want on the engagement level. engagement activities on level 5. Product wise, I want this product person to be on Formula 1, PDM or Formula 3 protein, Thermo T, aloe. I want fiber. And then I would love this person to be with a turbo drink, 2 liters of turbo drink during the day. I assume you know what turbo drink means. Some people don't, but if you don't, then I'll just explain to you quickly. It's we take a big bottle, 2-liter bottle, and then we fill it with water. We add aloe, we add tea, we add fiber. We can add some other, anything which is soluble, you can add, all right? Nightworks, anything. So, and then you drink it during the day, and then you get much better results. Many people also add protein powder into it. And so, and you just drink it. This is very, it gives you lots of benefits. And this is turbo drink and enormously improves weight management results and appetite control. So this was level 5. And the next level, you can't even imagine, but it's going to be level 10. There is no level 6, no level 7, 8, 9, it's straight level 10. So this is the highest engagement for a new person, for a new player. So on activities, I want to add this person. I want this person to be already assistant captain and having 2 players in the team. And obviously all the prior activities, which we already mentioned. And on the product side, I would love to add a rebuild strength to this person and having even being more engaged. And one more thing I want this person to be engaged with is actually having a family already engaged with the marathon, or at least with the product consumption at home. So family. So let's add a family to level 10. So these are engagement levels with the game. Now let's talk about business. Now let's talk business. So in this whole game, we have a marathon league. Marathon league is supervisor personal teams. This is what it is. So when you register, you give your ID number, and based on this ID number, the system would know how many teams are run by you personally. So all your personal teams are called a league, the league. This is your league. So league is not all teams of all captains you are working with. No, it's your personal teams run by you, and you are getting all kinds of reports, daily reports and monthly reports, and all kinds of rankings and leaderboards and everything else from the system, which actually help you to introduce competition into your league. Okay, so and it's improving, and every few months there are interesting improvements to this, and interesting new features are coming, and new rankings and new analytics and new interesting things for you. So you will be able to run your leagues with even more tools. But meanwhile, you have several good ratings and rankings and leaderboards, which already serve you in full. Okay, so this is called your league, your marathon league. Obviously, you want to have as many teams as possible. Now, let's talk how you put together, how you start, right? So I'm trying to switch to the next slide. No. Yes. Right, that's the one. So in order to start, we need to distribute all our customers into teams. That's very important. Just to remind, we don't invite people to the teams, to the marathon. We just tell them that they are in marathon. I understand that it's not that gentle as we maybe thought initially, right? But we need to be very straight. It's all about leadership, because if you start inviting people, many will not come because they say they have kind of a choice. So that's why we don't give them a choice. We just inform them that they are in the marathon. Very simple. So, and we send them the link and explain how to get connected. So from now on, so if there is a resistance, then we will discuss it later, right? But meanwhile, we need to distribute all of them. So first you do it on paper. You get all your active customers, all your active members, all your active preferred customers and members and distributors, everybody within your total volume, personal volume, right? And you distribute them into teams. And you distribute all of them until the moment when you have incomplete team. So you already distributed all of them, and now you have, let's say, half team, all right? Because you just simply don't have more players, more customers. Now what you do, you bring, in this case, in front of you, you just need to find 3 new customers, 3 new, or reactivate old customers, but you need to have 3 additional customers in order to fill this team, this incomplete team. Once you complete this incomplete team, now you start building a new team. And the whole story is adding new teams. That's the whole idea, is building new teams. Each team on average would give you 1,000 volume points. It's different from country to country. It's different from one team to another, but on average, it would be 1,000 volume points. I know in Europe, there are, in some countries, there is, the average volume would be 2,000, right? In some countries, it's 1,500. In some countries, it's 1,000. But if you take an average, world average, it would be around, let's say, 1,000 volume points per one team. It's easy. It's easy to understand. It's easy to operate with this number. And so once you build additional teams, you would get 1,000 volume points, new 1,000 volume points to your volume. But it's not just 1,000 volume points. It's a structured game. That means that people are playing the game. That means some of them will want also to play the game in a different role later on. Some of them would be interested in becoming assistant captain and captain. So it's not just 1,000 volume points. This is what I'm trying to get this message across to you, that it's not a volume. It's not about volume. Volume is just outcome, but the structure and the game is the thing. And so you just build new teams, and your league is growing. You start with a couple of teams, and then you just go and create many teams. And that's important. That again, here's the example, right? I'm asking someone, are you in marathon? Yes, I'm a marathon. I'm doing marathon. So how many teams do you have? Let's say 2 or 3. And how many customers, total amount of customers and distributors you have within your personal volume, those who are using the products? And they would say like 55. So that means for me that this person is not using the marathon as a business building tool, all right? So it's just entertaining few customers. But we are not to entertain customers here. We are to build business here. That's why all 55 need to be inside marathon. And then we would have an incomplete team at the end of the day. And that's why we need to complete incomplete team and start building the new one. This is how it works. So that's why those who are in marathon, they have all their customers and distributors participating. So now let's talk about situation where not everyone is ready to participate. So here's what we do. First, we distribute them on paper. We need to design those teams just on paper, okay? And then you start working with the bot. So you announce to everybody individually that next lap, you explain to them what it means, and then you send them individual link, all right? Explain how to get connected, help if needed, right? And then And then you have teams. Now, few customers sometimes they are not ready to join somehow. All right, that's not a problem. It shouldn't be a problem. So there are three main excuses we sometimes face. So if the customer strongly opposes using their name and image, and it happens sometimes, right? That's not a problem. So let them use a different name and different image. I would not, I don't love to see it too much in my teams, but if there is no choice, I have no problem with that. So if someone is not interested in working with the bot on a daily basis, some people say, no, I can't do it on every single day. So no problem, just do it 3 times. You see, I'm ready to compromise. I'm conformist. I'm ready to compromise with my customers, no problem. So you don't want to do it every day, no problem, do it 3 times, on day 1, on day 5, and on day 10, all right? If they say, I'm not ready at all to work with your bot, even after I explained all the benefits of the playing the game and getting all this interesting information and outcomes from the bot, from the player bot, all the recognition, all the competition, and all the lessons, interesting nutrition education lessons, and they still resist, then I say, no problem, you are going to be just non-connected player. So still, people participate, but I would feed the bot with the information of this non-connected player, but everybody would be in the marathon. So this is very important to understand, that all of them need to play. All of them need to be inside the game. All right. So next point is many of you who are a long time in the business, you have your old inactive customers and distributors and supervisors. This is the great moment and great opportunity to go and call them back into the game and tell them about marathon, tell them about 3.0 version of it if they are familiar with the old one, or just to explain to them what we do, how we play the game, and call them back and sell them this whole story and get them back on products, and just make sure that you are doing it, that you get back all your list of your inactive customers and your prospects, which maybe you didn't succeed first time, just go and call them back, call them again, and make sure that you bring them into the marathon. So make 20 calls a day, record all your activity in the CRM chart. CRM is customer relations management. So create simple chart within the Google Docs or something, and make sure that you don't leave people behind. Make sure that you call them, and then you follow up all your contacts. That's very important because it takes time, okay, for people to get ready, and but you need to do it. You need to go back. And normally what, based on my interviewing my top producers within my organization, when I ask them how many of your inactive customers and inactive distributors or even inactive supervisors, right, you can reactivate if you just tell them this whole story of 3.0, very exciting thing, and about this community and everything else, they would tell me it's about 20%. If we just make 100 calls, we would get 20 people back. And but you need the reason. You need to have a good reason to call people who you didn't speak with for the last 3 years, right? You need to have a good reason. So this one is a really great reason. You are building a team and you are missing 2 players, and they would say, what you are talking about, right? And you say, I want you to be a goalkeeper, all right, whatever, okay? Could be a job, could be serious, but it's 20%. And then they go and do it, and it's actually even better than 20%. People get to 30 and 40% of their inactive customers being reactivated, because the pitch is really great. The pitch is very strong. Okay, so then develop your players and assistant captain circle of influence. They have lots of contacts, and in many cases, we just don't get to it. Use social media to promote marathon, and don't stop until you form 5 teams. So this business starts from 5 teams, okay, as a business. Now, when you have 2 teams, it's great. You're just, you're trying, you're playing with the game. But if you want to start the business with this thing, it doesn't matter how many customers do you have. You may have a big number of customers and large volumes, but if you don't have 5 teams, you will not see this incredible transformation and this incredible conversion. You want to see conversion, how you create new captains, how new captains are being created, and how they move to your organizational volume. You want to see the magic. If you want to see the magic, it all starts from 5 teams and more. So no 5 teams, no magic. You run the deal, you participate, you have your own league, you have 3 teams, you make 3, 4,000, 5,000 volume points, no problem. You make some money, but you don't see the magic. We will discuss the magic a bit later, but just write this down. You need to have 5 teams to start the business. That means if you have 2 now, within the next 90 days, you need to have 5. By adding 1 team a month, every single month, 2 a week, 2 players a week, 1 team a month would give you 3 more teams, and you will end up in September at the extravaganza, very serious captain with 5 teams. And then you will start seeing the magic. So, so once you have 5 teams, you don't stop, because you need to have 6 teams, right? And then 7 teams. And then you don't stop. You still don't stop, because you need 8. Then you need 9. Then you need 10. And then you need 11. And then you need 12. And so you just need to keep going. You just need to keep adding new teams every single month. It will not be forever, don't worry, because then you will see the magic, because you will see new captains being created within your personal volume. They will move out from your personal volume, and they will join your organizational volume, and number of teams will drop in your personal volume, but you created royalties, okay? And then you will need to recreate new teams within your personal volume. That's the whole play, okay? But you need to go to a maximum amount of teams. And so don't stop, and add new team every single month. So let's talk about how we convert success into organizational momentum. So up until now, we discussed personal volume, personal activity. Now let's talk business from the organization building point of view. So in order to start seeing the magic, you need to move up this ladder. It's kind of a marketing plan ladder in our business, in our general business, right? This is a marathon marketing plan. This game marketing plan. This game has its own marketing plan. So you can see the first level is a player. Player produces about 150 volume points. When you move to assistant captain with a couple of customers, it would be around 500 volume points. Then once you have 1 team as a trainee captain, it's someone who has 1 team, right? It could be a distributor, it could be a supervisor, but with 1 team, you produce about 1,000. In some countries, it's a bit more, right? But it's about 1,000. So to become a real captain, you need to have 2,500 volume points and 2 teams at least. You have these nice logos, this the assistant captain logo and the captain logo. Okay, those logos you will see them in different places. Just get ready, and so then as a captain, you add more teams and you add more volume. So volume you see in front of you, it doesn't represent anybody's volume, right? It's a kind of an average, world average, more or less. And in your case, it could be different. It could be more, it could be less, but this is more or less, right? The average. I know that in some countries it could be twice as much, and in some countries it could be a bit less. But this is the case more or less. Now, when you see those new captains under those captains, it's uh, when you start seeing the magic, right? And that's why those organization builders start from 5 teams. This is where you start seeing new captains. This is where you start seeing conversion from personal volume to organizational volume. You want to see conversion. So more teams you create in your personal volume, more chances to have a good assistant captains, means new distributors who want to go into the business. We just don't call it business. We just call it a captainship. Okay, it's you want to become captain. You want to be like me. You want to run this show. You want to run the community. You want to create your own captain cluster eventually. So all of that is starts from, let's say, 5 teams. Once you have 5 teams, you will see this way or another. You will start seeing duplication. Duplication starts from 5 teams. It could happen prior to 5. It could happen to someone who has 3 teams, theoretically, right? No problem. But you want to create, you want to improve chances of conversion. So that's why you want to have 5 teams and more. And you don't stop even at 10 teams, right? In today's top 20, we've seen people who are achieved, who have 10 and 12 and 15 teams, right? And this is just the beginning. This is just first recognition, just first time people are asked to be ranked by number of teams, just first time. So you will see in the next following several months, those recognitions are going to be published, and you will see so many people achieving those 10 and 15 and 20 and 25 and 30 teams. You're going to see personal volumes of 20, 30, and 40,000 volume points, personal volume. This is what you are going to see soon. Okay, this is already happening, but it's just new in this market, but it's going to happen, all right? You're going to see enormous numbers, ladies and gentlemen. And obviously, those who have those large amount of teams, they will have lots of growth in their royalties. I'll explain to you how it works a bit later, but let's continue. So this was the marathon so-called marketing plan. It's just basic because there are more parts to this marketing plan. So the business flow looks like it's very simple business flow. Okay, you have a player, we get results, we get referrals, right? We become ambassador with a couple of players in the next lap, right? Then we talk business, we explain the marketing plan. It's not exactly business opportunity meeting. It could be just nice conversation, right? So it's not necessarily the meeting. It's not necessarily you need once a month to bring them to the 2 days STS or something like that, right? It could be very simple conversation about how business works and how marketing plan, Herbalife marketing plan works. All right. So then we sign the person as a distributor, right? Then we add 6 more players, 6 more customers to create first team, right? Then this person is called captain trainee. Then we work on the second team. We don't stop. We help this person to become a full captain, right? With 2,500 volume points, whether prior to the supervisor qualification or right after, it doesn't really matter. And then we start creating a new team, which is team number 3. And then number 4, number 5, and then you start seeing serious duplication. So that's it. This is very simple flow. I never seen anything that simple. And then you are the owner of your business. Now you are owner of your business. Okay, you didn't invest, you didn't do anything, there is 0 operation cost, all right? So I never seen anything that simple to create your own business operation, okay? So let's continue. So let's talk about monthly plan. So again, monthly plan is the part of the soft rules, and different people, they have different style. So I personally divide all monthly plans into 2. One is called standard monthly plan, which is linked to the calendar months. And there is, I call it freestyle, a monthly plan, where people choose when they start the labs. For example, they start on every other Monday, just for example, right? So they start, so the cycle is 14 days long or 2 weeks long. They start every Monday. Some other people start every Sunday. They believe that Sunday night is the right time where the day zero is being closed. You know, day zero, right? I hope we all understand. Day zero is being closed, and this is when this is actually the start of the lab when day zero is closed in the evening, right? When we all provide our weights, and captain provides her weight, the last one, all right? Captain always needs to provide his weight, the last one, right? If we want to synchronize all laps of all teams, right? So let's say some people say it's a Sunday night, and then Monday would be day one. Some other people say Monday is the 0 day, and then Tuesday is day one. Okay, some people do it on Thursday. So, and then it's every 2 weeks, 2 weeks cycle. Okay, I personally do a monthly calendar, what I call standard plan for me. But again, I don't want you guys to make changes right now into your plans. Because if you are part of the organization, if you are part of the cluster and you are synchronized with your upline sponsors and leaders, so please keep doing what you are doing. Okay, keep going with your plan. Okay, don't change it. I'm just giving you my personal example and my team example. This is how we work. But again, it needs to be synchronized with the team, with the cluster, with the organization, with upline sponsors. And because if you are part of the team and you start your own monthly plan, which is separate from the team, right? It will be a conflicting situation within your uplines and with your colleagues. So that's why it needs to be just one plan for the group, right? That's important. So I'm not trying to pursue you to switch from one plan to another. I'm just giving you how I work, okay? So this was a disclaimer. And now I can show you my plan. And so this is how this someone called standard monthly plan works. It's linked completely to the calendar months, to Herbalife months. And so the first lab starts always on the first of the months, lasts 10 days. Then we have several days in between. Then the next lab starts technically on 15th of the month in the evening. Okay, when we press start by captain reports the weight, right? The last one. And then the second lap starts the next day, which is 16th of the month, lasts for the next 10 days. And then we have 5 days in between. And day before the first day of the next month, we actually have the 0 day being closed. So this is how it works. It's linked to the calendar months. I'll explain to you why. And then you can use this one, or you can keep using your own 14 days structure, which is not less good, okay? It's just different, that's it. So, so this is how it looks. So we have 2 parts of the months, part 1 and part 2. We want to have a part 1 on the 11th day or 12th day, more or less. We celebrate the lab, okay? When lab is over, there is a celebration. We call it fiesta. This is Spanish word for celebration or party or whatever. It's a celebration recognition of the results of the lab, of the whole team which is working on this lab. It's usually several supervisors working together. And so we celebrate it, we recognize everybody. There is nice presentation, nice Zoom-based event. And during these days between the lab, we we make sure that people have enough products. We reshape teams if necessary, right? And then we get to the second lap. So what do we want to achieve between the first cycle and the second cycle of the months? So what we want to achieve, we want to get more people on products inside those existing families. That's important for everybody to understand. We want to increase product consumption within the same teams by adding family members. This is a big thing. And we promote next lap as an opportunity, right, for more people to join and for people to reorder products. So at the same time, we are building new teams, right? And we want to have more teams for the next lap. Okay, so second part of the month, we believe needs to be bigger than the first part of the month in terms of volume and in terms of sales. That's very important. Another thing which we want to understand is that what I need to do as a captain when we run the lab. This is very important. I will explain to you a bit later what the focus, how I make my priorities from a lab time into the between the labs time. So these are different, a little bit different priorities, and we will discuss it, how it works. So on this chart, you see it's slightly different. So we have this, each day has its own theme, right? And we all captains who are working together, we run this show. I mean, we run the community. It's normally a chat, a group. Some people do it in a Telegram group. Some people do it in Facebook groups, right? But it's a group, all right? Or it's a chat. It's a group, and several captains are working together, and they know what they do. They have their own responsibilities, and they run the show. And once you have several captains working together, you have less time to spend as a captain because it's a group project. You have, let's say, 10 or let's say 15 captains working together, running this whole chat. This chat is being created, this group is being created for this particular lab, just for one lab, right? And then it will be deleted, and then the next lab would have another group. For some people, it sounds like a bit strange. Why do we need to delete a lab? Why do we need to delete a group and create new group for the next lab? But what we see from the practice is that this is much stronger concept than if we keep running all labs in the same group or in the same chat, because with the time, what we see, half of those players within several months are not relevant. Okay, not everyone will be active, and then it will not be attractive anymore, and it will become a mess. So that's why we need to get together for each time as a group, as a team, and run one lab together, right? And create a group or chat for this particular lab and do a really great job. So, and then celebrate it, and then create a new one. And then it's becoming attractive because inactive people or old and inactive people, they cannot join it, okay? They cannot just stay being inactive. They need to be active in order to be part of it. That's why we create a new group or new chat for each lab. Okay, so every day has a certain theme, and obviously it's soft rules, right? It's you create based on your ideas what interesting activities you can undertake in your cluster. We call it cluster. A group of supervisors, a group of captains working together is called clusters. So what's important here to understand is that you see this bottom sentence in the bottom of this chart is saying players are busy running the lab, and you are busy building a new team and developing new assistant captains. This is the most important thing to understand from this chart, is when you are 10 supervisors working together, 10 captains, you can assign different responsibilities. So obviously, you all are active in the chat during the lab, but you can assign responsibilities, right? So all you need to spend maybe half hour a day in this thing, right? Because who is in charge today? Someone is in charge of let's say, a cooking day, okay, or sports day. Someone is in charge. We all support, we all contribute, but it's not my day, okay? So I'm supporting. All assistant captains are supporting. Everybody is supporting, but we are supporting, okay? It's someone else's day. Now, if I'm in charge, obviously I'm here more active, but still, it's in total, it's maybe 1 hour a day, okay? And if I'm supporting, it's half hour a day in total to be inside this big group or chat. It could be hundreds of people, right, participating. So tens of teams and many people. This is really big action here. So what they're all busy, right? They're all busy running the lab customers. It's like a kindergarten a little bit, right? So they are kind of make busy themselves like kids in the kindergarten. So they all entertain each other. So, and sometimes they don't need nanny because there are lots of action is going on. So the same is here. So what nanny is doing. So what I'm supposed to do during the lab, I'm busy building new team and I'm busy building new assistant captains. This is what I'm doing. So I have 20 days out of 30 actually focused on building a business, on building my royalties at the end of the day, because I need to build a team and I need to build assistant captain into a new supervisor, into a new captain. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm busy working. So that's why we have this collective effort being all of us working together. And this collective effort allows me to be free for the 20 days out of 30, right? Obviously, I'm working with my customers. Obviously, I'm dealing with reordering and everything else and follow-up, but mostly I'm building new 20 days. And then 10 days between the labs, I'm busy selling no, I mean, I'm selling all the time. I'm selling, but what I'm saying is just focused. It's in terms of focus, right? So because if I don't split this focus, then I can be in retail business for the rest of my life. But that's why I'm sending all my customers into the game for 20 days out of 30, and now I'm busy building downline. I need to develop my downline to build new team directly with my customers and with customers of my assistant captains, right? And building my assistant captains into captains. This is my real focus during the 20 days out of 30, okay? So, so these are, in this case, it was two identical cycles of 15 days each, but they are just linked to the calendar months. So every day has a certain theme, and you make fun and all contribute. Okay, we create all kinds of flyers to support the theme of the day. Obviously, we add product results. Obviously, we promote all kinds of recipes and all kinds of activities. And if it's sport day, so everybody is talking about sport. If it's introduction day, then everyone is introducing themselves. All kinds of interesting activities which you decide what to do. All right, it's just an examples. Knowledge day. Okay, it could be 1 or 2 knowledge days during the lab where you explain the importance of protein, right, or fiber. And obviously then you promote a certain products and so on and so forth. Results day normally comes on the day number 10. So important activities during the lab is you need to run your lab within your cluster community. We will get to this cluster. This is very important term, cluster, because it's a collective effort. If we want to create organization, it's always a collective effort. And we all work together and we all create this this protocol of working together. It's actually being, before I forget it, by the way, it's important for leaders to have a protocol. It's just between us, girls. So to create a protocol. So it would be online protocol, online document in, let's say, Google Docs, where you put all the important information as captains. All captains of this group would see this document. You would run your analysis, right? Once the lab is over, you would get together, you would analyze it, you would discuss it, you would see what was right, what was good, what could be improved, right? What was interesting ideas, interesting findings, and you all add it to the protocol. And this way you improve. You constantly improve your process. It's a business process. It needs to be improved. But we forget during the lab and during those discussions, we forget it. We don't keep the protocol. So that's why we need to open it, to have it available for all the captains of this cluster. And so they would see, and you would together collectively, you would improve the whole process. And it will take like 5, 6, 10 labs, working as a group, right? And making sure that you have a chemistry amongst yourselves, right? A good chemistry and good energy and good vibe. And then you create a team. In many cases, it's actually naturally built teams. Naturally built teams. Let's say it's a Get Team Plus. Let's say having 10 downline supervisors, all team members, right? And working together as a group. But in some cases, we have many cases, right? Many cases when there is no upline Get Team Plus, right? And there are some supervisors from different sidelines are working together, which is great. It's unbelievable. So make sure that you have a good energy, good vibe, and you get together with the right people. But collective effort is the key to success. So important activities is, again, running the lab, personal work with the players. Okay, they still need attention. Program personalization, especially for the next lab. Always, every 2 weeks, you have this conversation of personalizing program. Refill the product stock, involve the family. We discussed it already. Get referrals, promote assistant captain position, develop assistant captain for the next lab. Okay, we are trying every time during the lab. I want to have a new assistant captain in each team for the next lab, right? And if someone is becoming assistant captain, but not acting at all, okay, just brought a couple of people, but not interesting, I will replace this assistant captain with another assistant captain in this team if I develop one, right? Reshape the team if necessary for the next lab. If you need to reshape it, create a new team every month. So this is very important focus for everybody. Create new team every single month. By the way, more teams you have, easier for you to create new team because you have a wider foundation. You have more people to talk to. You have more circles of influence of your players and your assistant captains. So it's easier, obviously, to create team number 10 than team number 2. It's all clear. That's fine. That's why we need to go and work hard and climb this ladder, which we just discussed earlier, right? We need to climb it. And then once you climb to 5 teams, the rest is easy, right? It's easier, right? So team number 6 is definitely easier than team number 2. Okay, so let's talk about Fiesta, the celebration time, the party time. So we promote Fiesta during the lab. Every single day, someone is talking about Fiesta, Fiesta, Fiesta. We need to invite people during all 10 days to Fiesta. Fiesta is happening normally on day 11th, right? Or 12th, which means next day after the lab is over, depends on your monthly plan, right? Or day after. But during the first couple of days, we need to do it. It's important. It's important to celebrate the results of the lab. Obviously, all teams are synchronized in this cluster. right? All are synchronized. They all start the same day and they all finish the same day. That's why it's important to understand how you do it. And I just explained earlier that captains, they need to provide weight uh, uh, day before first day, right? So close the day zero. In the next version, by the way, next version, it's going to be different, slightly different. So captains are going to be asked, are you ready to close the day zero and start the lap, right? It's going to be, right now it's not asking. Right now it's working like when all 9 people within the team provided their weights, right? The next day it starts the lap. So that's why captain needs to do it the last one, because captain controls start of the lap in many teams. That's why captain would provide his weight, her weight, the last one, right? The evening before the first day of the lap. So that's important to understand it now. But in the next version, captain is going to be specifically asked, are you ready to start the lap tomorrow, right? Actually start today, so first day will be tomorrow. By the way, why start is today evening and lap starts tomorrow, actually, right? It's because we provide our 0-day weights today, right? In order tomorrow, when it's first day of the lap, the system would know how to compare to the tomorrow's weight with the initial day zero weight. Okay, so that's why. So we need to compare always weight with the previous day weight. That's why there is a there is term called 0-day, right? Or start day. So that's why it's a technical term. Don't worry. That's why we need to have 0 date in order to have a day 1 already being compared with something, with the basic weight. Okay, so let's continue. So fiesta. So we gather everybody in the Zoom. We promote it heavily during 10 days. We invite people. We invite families and friends and everybody. We prepare presentation in advance. It's all prepared. All we need to do is just to include new images, finish images, and ratings images and everything. And but its presentation is ready. And obviously it's being improved from one lab to another. We're working currently on some kind of generic presentation with nice graphics, which will be available. And if you want to use it, you can use it. You can just change your own things inside and then you can use it. But I'm sure you have your own nice presentations already and work with that. So we promote Next Lab during this fiesta. We celebrate best teams, top players. It's about 45 minutes in our case. Otherwise, it's becoming too long and people are getting tired. And very short presentation, very short appearances, right? Not more than 1 or 2 minutes. People don't speak, no speeches. Okay, lots of action, lots of, not all customers are speaking, obviously, right? Only top achievers. Celebrate, we promote assistant captains heavily, okay? We tell them that we need help, all right? Because I mean, it's so many people. So please help us. We need assistant captains and we need new captains. We promote it heavily. We have slides for captains, for assistant captains, to recognize them, because these people are actually running the lab and they help us to achieve all our results. That's why we need more assistant captains and more captains. And we ask players to join us, right, and help us with our mission and with our game and developing our community, healthy, active lifestyle community. And and then obviously assistant captains in a way is the most important thing, because this is exactly what we want to have. And then we interview some of them. Great stories. People say, I just joined a couple of laps ago. I've lost my 5 kilos and I brought 3 of my people. They already lost 2 kilos in the last lap and I'm so excited and I want to be captain. Okay. This kind of very simple stories. The same with a couple of captains, already very exciting stories. I just joined this game like half a year ago, and I'm now running my own 5 teams, and I'm so excited. It's a kind of HOM a little bit, but without going into business details too much or at all, but promoting levels of the game. And then we say, if you are interested and if you want to join us as assistant captains and captains, we would love to invite you to another meeting where we will discuss the business issues and the marketing plan and technical issues, how to run this whole story, how to work with the captain board, and so on and so forth, and how to make sure that you acquire all the skills, right? And so it's a separate meeting. So we don't want to kill our guests, right, with the HOM, because they are not prepared for that. So that's why we want to get a lot of interest from the audience, and then invite them to the next meeting, which could be actually tomorrow, right? Another gathering could be tomorrow for those who are interested. Or it could be done privately by captains. So it was Fiesta. Let's talk about assistant captain. Assistant captain is, as we say, it's a critical function for us. This is how we actually recruit people into the game in a way, right? So assistant captain. We promote the ambassador program. A player brings a couple of customers, at least 2, right, into the next lap, and then become assistant captain. Again, as I said, don't assign assistant captain. It's not a title, it's a function. That's why they all need to bring 2 players into the next lap of the same team. So the goal is to become captain, create their own teams. During the next few laps, assistant captain places 500 volume points order or 1,000 volume points order to supply products to their first customers. This is very important thing. This is very important thing. This is one of most important things, I would say, because if we want to activate this assistant captain, this person needs to have some product stock, just a little bit, just 500 volume points for own use and couple of customers. Or if she or he has like 3, 4, 5 customers, they would need 1,000 volume points. And what I'm trying to do with my assistant captain is to actually place an order for 500 or 1,000 volume points immediately once this person brings to people. All right. Why it's important? Some other people do it differently. Some people say, okay, so let's talk to your people and let's create preferred customers, right? I don't do it. I don't do it through preferred customers, just because I need to wait until those people are registered as preferred customer and then place orders. So I lose control. I lose control over my assistant captain development. I don't want to lose control. I want to move fast. That's why I want my assistant captain to have 1,000 volume points at home, to go and face real customers and get real skills the way we did in the past, right? Because if I'm waiting from my preferred customers when they place the order, we will all die before it's happening. All right. So, and that's why we lose momentum. We lose momentum. I don't want to lose momentum. I want my new assistant captain to have some stock at home, just for a couple of customers, 3, 4, 5. We want to have these products to go and face real customers and sell products, right? Sell products, go to neighbors, go to the family, go to close friends, right? And actually sell, to acquire the skill, not to wait until someone will place order, but actually go and sell products, take money, sell products, right? To have products, to start to learn how to work with product, how I buy, how I purchase products from the company, and how I sell it at retail price to the customer, the classics, the basics. Some people just lost those basics. That's why assistant captain needs to work with the circle of influence anyway. That's why we need to have products at home. That's why an order for 500 volume points or 1,000 volume points is crucially important, rather than waiting until her cousin would place an order as assistant cap, as preferred customer. Okay, so this is just my way of thinking and my way of doing. special training for those guys, obviously, needs to be. We do it weekly. And we are trying to create a first team as fast as possible. Don't stop with 2 people, just keep going straight. Circle of influence, make 3-way calls, 3-way meetings, and try to get as fast as possible your first team. And so, and go to the second team immediately. So you don't stop at 1 team and you don't stop at the half team. You just go to 2 teams and you don't stop. Okay. I remember Ilse and Patrick and their training in Bruges. They said, if you have someone with 2 players, the next project is to add 14 more players. Okay, not 3, but 14 means to create 2 teams straight to 2 teams. So there is no intermediate task. I love this. Listen, I just love it because it puts you into the serious position. Okay, it gives you a real goal, a good task. It's a common project. You work with your assistant captain to create straight active supervisors, straight 2 teams. Okay, you don't compromise on something in between. That's why after 2, the next one, after 2 players, the next goal is 2 teams straight. So we need to add 14 more people, not 1, not 3rd customer, not 4th customer, okay, but 14 more customers. That's why we need just to go crazy with the person who is open to do it. Okay. So if we have assistant captain who introduces 2 people, so obviously they say they join the same team, they would get those star badges, and other people may be put into a new team. Okay, so that's important to understand. We will need to reshape teams. So reshaping teams is a normal procedure, and not all teams are being reshaped, but we want to reshape teams because we want people to bring their friends into teams. That's why we have this in between the laps, those days to reshape teams. Next is assistant captain training. Okay, so again, we work with them on a weekly basis. If you have a cluster, if you are part of the cluster, the same cluster has to have a separate chat, which is designed only for assistant captains and captains. Okay, and this is where you work with assistant captains, how to run the lab and how to and promote trainings, right? And you actually run trainings and you create Zoom trainings. We do it again weekly with assistant captains, and we go through all those points which you see in front of you. So this was assistant captain, and again, you can you can move fast or you can move slow to become a trainee captain. Okay, this slide was taken from Ilse and Patrick, just by the way, thank you. Was borrowed, I owe you. But there are 3 or 4 slides are coming from your presentation from Bruges. I love them. The flow slide was absolutely fantastic, and these slides are really great. So you can move faster or you can move slower. So you choose. It's very simple. If you decide with your assistant captain to add 2 players a week, then you create a team within a month. Very simple. If you decide to have 2 new players once a lap, means every 2 weeks, then it takes you twice as long. So I believe in fast track. This is what I believe. I believe in those goals which are set, and good goals, strong goals, right? And you just get committed together. Not every assistant is the same. Assistant captain is the same, obviously, but it's both of you make a decision to move fast or slow, and the same for the second team. Okay, same idea to become full-fledged captain with 2 teams. Right? It's exactly the same idea. You either move fast or slow. I want to move fast, and I want to show you how we believe we need to move. We need to move very fast. So 90 days plan. So please write this down. This is the very important one, 90 days plan. This is what we believe needs to be done. This is very realistic. It's already proven and very realistic. So month number 1 is player. Month number 2 is assistant captain with 2 or 3 players, 2 or 3 customers. It's very doable, very doable. If you just accept this plan, it's very doable. Then month number 2. So month 0 is player. Month 1 is senior consultant, 500 volume points. Assistant captain. This is month 1. Month 2 is success builder, 1000 volume points, and a captain of 1 team, trainee captain it's called, right? So we just add a few more customers and create first team and start first team with the bot, with the captain bot. And then month 3, we work on the second team and we add 2,500 volume points and qualify for a supervisor. So in this ladder, what you see here is you see combination of both Herbalife marketing plan qualification to supervisor and advancement through the a marathon plan, right? You see both, and they're both synchronized here. And if you choose this 90 days plan, you will take your people through a very interesting and nice process, which is dynamic. People would have some products at home to sell. They will work, will learn how to work with the stock. Okay, so nobody will wait until preferred customer would place order. I don't need to convince anybody. I just have my own stock, even if I buy and sell. Okay, and then once this person is becoming supervisor, then it's about time to start working with the preferred customers and what's not. But because there are lots of new customers that are coming in, and first months could be full retail, definitely, right? There is no problem with first months being full retail. Then for the second month, so second order, many people sign up their customers, their preferred customers, no problem. But we need basics, we need skills, we need to learn how to sell, we need to learn how to face customers, right? And how to go and have your products in your bag, right? The classics, all right? The classic basics. And so this was the 90 days plan. And let's talk about captain. Captain is someone who has, as we said, 2,500 volume points, 2 teams, 2 active teams. So functions and goals are very simple. Build a new team every single month. Constantly identify and develop new assistant captains. Building at least 5 teams in your personal volume in order to start duplication. Create active captains in your organizational volume if you have downline. So duplicate straight, right? But you cannot duplicate until you have 5 teams. Not because your supervisors, if you have downline, supervisor downline, they want to follow you on something bigger than you, bigger than themselves, right? So if you have 2 teams and they have 2 teams, they will not build more teams than you. That's very simple. It's a leadership business. This is how Patrick and Ilse created momentum in their organization by having the record number of teams and volume points in their organization. That's why their guys started to follow them. That's why they work a couple of months or even more time initially on their own personal business, personal teams and personal volume points and personal everything and personal operation. And then people would say, okay, that's interesting. It works. If you can do it, probably we can do it if you show us how to do it. And this is when it all starts. This is where magic starts, when you achieve and show great results to your downline. So then you create or you become part of the existing captains cluster, captains group, whether it's run by a strong upline top team member, or it's just sidelines are getting together. It's also, there are many cases we know. And qualify for the next level of the original Herbalife marketing plan by planning your qualifications, which we will discuss soon. So let's talk a little bit about captain's cluster. All right, this is the next level of the game. You see, there are levels of the game. So we start as a player, run to up to assistant captain, then we go to captain, then we go to captain of more teams, then we get to many teams, right? Then we combine the effort with other captains, whether it's my downline or sometimes it's my sideline, right? But we create a team to run the show. And this is where we all work together. We all work for each and every one. We all support each other, right? We delegate because there are lots of work to be done. That's why we want to work as a group. And this is where we want to bring new people into it, into this group, into this cluster, captain's cluster. Everybody wants to be captain in our cluster. And if are you captain in our cluster? Oh, no, you are not. Oh, I'm sorry. But so this is becoming a different verbal, interesting type of lexicon, right? Being captain, being part of the cluster, being part of the deal, being part of the movement of action, and so on and so forth. So, and then people want to get to the next level. And then the next level of the game is when you create a cluster. Okay, now first you join the cluster, and then you create your own cluster. And this is big thing. This is when you create leadership groups. It's serious leadership groups who can run independently from you. Now you can leave them, right, and go and create new cluster. I'm working right now with probably 20 different clusters, which I'm running simultaneously, building new leadership groups. And it's unbelievable because I know that within several months' time, I will leave those clusters. Finito la commedia. They don't need me anymore, okay? I'm going to have a free time to go and build new clusters, right? And this is the whole deal. And I know that they are doing great. I already see they're doing great. Some of them are champions. You've seen the top 20 today. So I have half of this top 20 is those guys from those clusters I'm running. So I'm really proud because I know that we are setting a very high standard. And this is so lovely to create more and more leadership clusters. And actually, this would move you to the next levels of the marketing plan. And eventually, you will go all the way to president's team, and we will show you how. So all those guys, they join forces in one group, one chat, as we discussed earlier, right? All different types of guys. Some of them are brand new trainee captains, and some of them are very mature captains with many teams. They all join forces in one chat, one group, which we discussed earlier for this particular lab, to run the lab and as a project. And cluster, leadership cluster. Okay, so we discussed it already. The leadership cluster, it's 10 to 20 supervisors, could be more. Again, it's a freestyle. Some people believe that it needs to be like 50 supervisors working together. Some people say it needs to be 6, all right? It's too many, 10. Again, it's a freestyle, all right? It's a soft rules, and people can choose. I believe it needs to be between 10 to 15. This is, to me, it's optimal. Then if it's too big, I would split it because I want more leadership positions, more leadership group, and more accountability. Because if it's 20, 30, 40 supervisors working together in the same cluster, then kind of I'm not accountable because nobody really sees me. I don't need to do anything. I don't need to take responsibility because I'm one out of 45. So that's why I believe like 15, maybe 20 at maximum, it would be fine, right? But again, it's just my opinion. Please don't take it seriously. And we discussed it already that there is new chat for every lab. Responsibilities. All captains and all assistant captains have their own account responsibilities. In advance, they all know, and we all function as a team. And we all create this fiesta, the celebration event, and prepare for and work to prepare the next lab. And we try to engage with assistant captains and invite their friends and so on and so forth to make sure that it's all functioning, Fiesta and so on and so forth. Okay, so this was about captains, and now let's talk about marketing plan qualifications in Herbalife. Okay, how we take this whole game and how we go to the president's team. So it all starts with the basic understanding of the magic. Magic, remember magic? So here's the magic. In the past, we had a certain challenge while building royalties and getting to the higher levels of the marketing plan, even though we did find solutions, right? There are many ways to build, and many people became top levels of the marketing plan, but still, if you want to improve, you need to see the challenges. If you don't see the challenges, you cannot improve, right? If everything is good. So I was looking at challenges always in order to improve the process. And what we found out that was that we create new supervisors. And then we don't know whether this new supervisor is going to perform or not. You never know whether new supervisor is going to perform or not. So you create new supervisors in the past, and then you pray. You need to pray hard, right? And then you would expect and you would wait until this new supervisor will create your royalties, right? So it means that you are dependent distributor. You are not independent distributor. You are dependent distributor. So when I understood this phenomena that my development of my business is dependent on other people, I said, okay, so listen, I need to go as wide as possible and create it like many first lines, massively, right? Because I couldn't really trust anybody, right, in this regard, because you never know who is going to perform. So you better increase your chances. So you put more first lines. In this marathon game, it's all more or less all clear. So this is the big, great news, that it's all predictable now. So what I do, I create many teams in my personal volume, right? I found out and create new assistant captains. I create new captains myself. We do it together within my personal volume, right? I create active captain with 2 teams, and then they move to my organizational volume and they continue to do the same. So we don't lose anybody. So it's all predictable. So I know that if I created this active captain will continue to do the same thing just in my organizational volume. The same cluster, the same labs, the same working together, the same group, the same everything. They are just now moved from my personal volume to my organizational volume. But we didn't lose anybody. We don't need to wait from anybody. So we just keep running the same project, but those people just moved with their teams to my organizational volume, and my royalty increased. And this makes my business predictable and plannable. Now I can plan it. Now I can see that if I create 10 teams, let's say, and I create like 5 new captains with 2 teams each, that means that I added 10,000 volume points to my organizational volume, which is unbelievable. Now I know that they are going to build their 3rd team, and then 4th team, and then a 5th team. And then it means that they will have their first line becoming supervisors, which is my second line supervisor. So that means if we keep running this cluster, within this cluster, I'm going to become Get team member if I'm supervisor today. I do it myself. You can see it in this picture, right? This is Get team qualification, more or less, in front of you, which I have created myself. You understand how it works. These 2 arrows, you see those 2 arrows, 2 pink arrows? One is my personal, I create personal, and then I create organizational volume. I do it myself. I mean, with the team, obviously, we are working together, but now I'm in good control of the situation. I don't need to, I need to pray, but less, okay? And to build more, okay? So, and now we can easily, imagine next level qualifications. One is active wall team, very simple. Okay, this is what I need to do now. I know how this structure looks like, more or less. And so I need to have 5 up to 10 teams myself, and then we will see several captains with their teams a few months later. And if it's get team, it's the same idea, but I know how my structure looks like. So, and I do it myself. I need to have between 5 to 10 teams. It's better to have 10 teams if you want to move, to start seeing your organizational volume growing. Even if it takes several times, don't stop, don't slow down. Just keep adding teams every single month, okay? Don't, if you didn't add a team a month, you didn't check the box, okay? So check the most important box, create one new team a month. That's the most important box to check. And the last message is to club owners. We always want to have both offline and online business. And that's what I suggest all my friends who run the nutrition clubs and to add marathons, to have online operation, because it's for everybody and not just for those who want, who are locals, right, who come with me. So this is zero operation cost and everybody can do it elsewhere in the world. Even those who are not, will never see my nutrition club because people are everywhere. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was a basic kind of explanation of who we are and what we are. On July 1st, we have all the European languages already available. So congratulations, Europe is open. Many of them are already available, and some of them will be available by the end of this month. Great news. Congratulations, Europe is open, right? All countries actually are open by the end of this month. If not all of them, then almost all of them in terms of languages. All of them are open anyway, and because international English is available in all countries, and international Spanish, by the way, is going to be also available next month. So in July 2024, because there are many Spanish-speaking countries in the world, and it's going to be an international Spanish version for all the countries. And meanwhile, there is a Spanish for Spain available, and next month is going to be a Spanish for all the countries. So you are welcome to join this marathon channel, where we publish all the interesting news and updates for the system, for the bots, for the tools, for the events, and so on and so forth. And that's the situation. So, and again, I'm really excited to be on this first Marathon Academy training today. And thank you for inviting. And I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting run in Europe for the next 6 months. And because 6 months, you need to have 6 months, right, to get to 10 teams, right? Remember, 10 teams, 6 months. So you can do it faster. But again, try to get to 10 teams. This is my, even if it sounds like too much, too far away from you, you are at many of you are at 2 teams, right? And I'm talking about 10. So this is the terminology we need to accept and get get ready to add team by team by team by team. And within 6 months, maybe 8 months, maybe 9 months, you will get to your magic number called 10 teams. And then your business will just go crazy. Thank you very much. Have a great, great, great training.